Do you stand by your view that trying to remove him is a form of McCarthyism?
Absolutely, Senator.
Why in the world would that be the case?
Let me answer. He hasn't been charged with the crime. The clear predicate for this, White House said, was handing out pro-Hamas propaganda.
Senator Josh Hawley here takes Kenneth Stern masterfully to task over his ludicrous equating of the expulsion of Mahmoud Khalil with that of the McCarthy-era witch hunts.
Mr. Stern, if I could just start with you. I see that 5 or 6 days ago you gave an interview in which you said that the removal of Mahmoud Khalil, the pro-Hamas foreign rioter, is a form of McCarthyism and makes Jewish students less safe. Now, this is an individual who has been accused of endorsing and espousing terrorist activity, who has been accused of lying on his application to a green card in the United States, who's currently being sued for terrorizing and assaulting Jewish students. Do you stand by your view that trying to remove him is a form of McCarthyism?
Absolutely, Senator.
Why in the world would that be the case?
Let me answer. He hasn't been charged with the crime. The clear predicate for this, White House said, was handing out pro-Hamas propaganda. When you start talking about people's views and what they're talking about in the public square as a basis for discrimination, and then the effect on Jewish students, it's not just the fact that Jews may be seen as, well, we're pushing this and that's going to happen. The way that this is going to harm Jewish students is it harms the academy.
Wait a minute. My time is limited. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just wait a minute. I've got to correct numerous inaccuracies there. Number one, as you very well know, United States law says that a non-citizen is inadmissible for entry into this country if they, and I quote, endorse or espouse terrorist activity or persuade others to do the same. That same law provides you can be removed for the same reasons. That is what Mr. Khalil has been accused of. He has further been accused of, by the United States government, lying on his visa application. That on its own would be sufficient to remove him from this country. He is being sued, as you and I sit here in New York court, by the victims of October 7th for terrorizing and assaulting Jewish students, unlawfully taking over and damaging public university property, and physically assaulting Columbia University employees.
As Hawley points out, this is ridiculous. McCarthy persecuted American citizens who may or may not have been communists. All the evidence that was had, in many cases, was hearsay and innuendo. And for the most part, as I've said before, they were American citizens. This is vastly different to a guy who came to America on a student's visa. So strike one. He's not an American citizen or granted permanent residence. Strike two, this was not an issue of innuendo or hearsay. This was in relation to Khalil's own words and actions, supporting Hamas and being involved with violence against Jews, completely running against his visa conditions. Stern is just beating a ridiculous extreme left ideology on this, an issue where the vast majority of Americans would completely disagree with him. And it continues.
And you're telling me that it's McCarthyism to remove this individual?
Senator, the deportation was started before that lawsuit, before that second question about what he was saying on his forms.
No, this is what the government has alleged in open court, Mr. Stern. This is the basis for their removal proceedings. And our law makes clear if you endorse or espouse terrorist activity, you can be removed from this country. He has done so. He's been accused of doing so from the beginning. He's been accused of lying to get into the country. I'm amazed that you're saying that this is McCarthyism.
Senator, you weren't here when I quoted part of what Justice Brandeis was talking about the back at a case where there's somebody that was convicted for supporting the Communist Party because they were talking about violence as a political solution. And Brandeis cautioned us that this type of robust speech, as long...
This isn't speech. Lying on a visa application is not speech. Seeking to assault Columbia University employees and Jewish students is not speech. You are defending an individual who has espoused the destruction of this country, the destruction of the state of Israel, the destruction of Jews, and has taken actions in furtherance of the same. You've also said that investigating the 60 colleges and universities that are currently under investigation by the Trump administration for anti-Semitism is a form of weaponizing anti-Semitism for political benefit. You're opposed to investigating these institutions for anti-Semitism?
Once again, Stern has a ridiculous take on things. He talks of McCarthyism and Brandeis's warning on prescribing free speech. But the fact is, nowhere in the Constitution does it say that a person and their speech does not have consequences. There's a huge difference between, for instance, saying black is white or vice versa, or advocating for violent action against a group of people. That does not fall under the umbrella of protected speech. Neither does actually participating in violence or lying on visa documents. Oh yes, did I say that he was not a US citizen? Hawley and Stern continue.
Senator, I've been very clear that OCR has a very important role, that there are complaints that should go through the process. When you start using the Department of Justice and threatening universities' funding.
You are opposed, I just want to get this on the record, you are opposed to investigating Columbia University and others for anti-Semitism?
No.
That's what you said 6 days ago.
I am not opposed to doing it the right way.
What does that mean, doing it the right way?
Not to claw back funds, not to say we're holding you ransom. We're getting your faculty, Jewish...
You were asked about an investigation for failing to protect Jewish students, and you said that's just weaponizing anti-Semitism. It makes students less safe.
It is when the
I think that's
Department of
crazy.
Justice has a list of places they want to go to. The Senator Markey's question...
Oh, I heard Senator Markey's questions. I heard his whole speech. I thought it was insane. I just want to say for the record, I thought it was totally insane. And I think your positions are similarly insane. I think the idea that we would bend over backwards to hug and kiss and make nice to a pro-Hamas rioter, because that's what Khalil is, and that we would say, we can't remove him, and that makes Jewish students less safe on our campuses? That's nuts.
Senator,
That's nuts.
To Rabbi Saberstein's point, if you look at American history, the times where Jews were most vulnerable was during the Palmer raids in World War I, when there was political...
Jews are vulnerable now on our campuses because of people like Khalil, and I want to say for the record, I'm glad he's gone, and I hope he never comes back.
Here is where I think we really cut to the chase. It seems that Stern really doesn't want universities investigated for anti-Semitism. He puts it in a way, trying to explain it away, in trying to claim that he wants to see it done the right way, by which he means here withholding funds. The reality is that he, in fact, does not want universities to have any real consequences for allowing anti-Semitism. And it is his view that Jewish students are less safe by removing Khalil and cutting funds to universities that don't crack down on anti-Semitism. Well, that's just crazy stuff. But what do you think of threatening federal funds from universities that refuse to crack down on anti-Semitism? Please let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy this content, please like, share and subscribe. And thanks for watching.